Hello everybody, we are the Geeks and the Giants. I am Enzo, this is my forever co-host John. Today we continue our modern movie lineup with Civil War. Since Alex Garland has one more project this year and it is 28 years later next month in June. So that's why we're talking about Civil War, and I think it was very bold for them to release this movie last year during the election year of the US.
This film hasn't been more important.
Yeah. Like getting right off the bat, like I saw this movie was coming out, and then I remember that there's an election going on in America, and I was like, it's either this movie is gonna say something about either side, or it's just going to be a very divisive movie altogether. And I think that's why it's divisive, because it doesn't choose a side, whether the left or the right. It's just the views of a photojournalist going through a war.
Yeah, that's very true. It's that, like, you were just thrown into this world. You don't know what side stands for what.
Yeah.
Or all we know is that the president is declaring dictatorship after his second term.
Yeah.
Of presidency, and the world just goes to shit.
Yeah.
And we're already maybe, I don't know, years into this thing?
Yeah.
Or months into it.
Well, you don't know if the world's gone to shit or if it's just the US and the world is just like, what the fuck is happening?
Look at those crazy guys.
Yeah.
And that was it. It was just like, it was just crazy because you're just like, we're introduced to like Kirsten Dunst, the girl from Aliens, and
Wagner Moura, Joel.
I love him because he played like the bad guy from Puss in Boots.
Oh, so you're about to say he played Pablo Escobar. It's like, yes, he's a bad guy there too.
Yeah, his sexy voice still translates. Yeah. But yeah, we're introduced to these characters, and then you just see Kirsten Dunst in a regular hotel room. The only little caveat is that there are explosions in the background.
Yeah.
So yeah, like they're all photojournalists. Well, journalists and photojournalists, because the guy who plays Joel, I guess he's just a writer.
Yeah. Like their mission is to go to Washington to interview the president, even though it's highly risky. Like Sam, played by Stephen McKinley, is like people get hung by or get shot if you go to Washington DC these days. You guys are out of your mind. I'm still going with you, and you're like, all right, cool. Kaylee Spaney plays Jesse, who likes Lee, who like is inspired by Lee, who is the main photojournalist, but played by Kirsten Dunst. And like I do like how like in any like dystopian movie there's like a sense of like some like joy, and here it's just like pure dystopia. Like there's no joy to be had. Like it's like just really dark. Also answers a what if a major superpower in the world just evolves into civil war. Like how does that look like? How do the major cities look like compared to the smaller towns in the US? You're like, oh.
Yeah, well, it is crazy because like to people, we're seeing it in the eyes of like the Americans, where they're like, oh, that's so crazy, and like, that's unheard of.
Yeah.
When you look at it, places in the Middle East, Africa, they all experience this somewhat on a regular basis, where yes, like somebody like Gaddafi or somebody like any modern like dictator just absolutely fucks up a country and divides it.
Yeah.
And you see refugees, you see people just leaving. When you look at it, like I had to look up again, like a video on like a rundown on like the movie Civil War. What you see here sure is new to us because it is happening to a US country, like it's happening to the US.
Yeah.
But people will put it side by side with like the Middle East right now. Or and you're just like, it's not new.
Yeah,
it's new for the US, but it's not new.
Yeah. You rarely see it like in a first world country nowadays, and thankfully Like hopefully no superpower goes down because that affects the global economy in general as well. So you're like, if one goes down, we all go down. That's bad for everybody. I like the neutral stance of Lee, Sammy, and Joel and Jesse just experiencing this war. Like you already know Lee is like an experienced photojournalist. Like you see flashbacks of her in other warfares where countries have fallen into like civil strife, and like she's just there to document it and show it to people. And again, like I said, in warfare, it's the cycle of people outside being like, that's horrible, it continues to eat breakfast and like doesn't think about it until the next newspaper comes, and you're like, that's still horrible. Cycle repeats.
Yeah. It's hard to sympathize. It's hard to put yourself in their shoes when it's miles and miles away from you.
Yeah. That's why I do love Alex Garland's decision to put us in those shoes to see the world through Lee's eyes. Like you just see things you would see in when other countries would break down, but just in, as you said, in the U.S. this time, like factions against factions. Like you don't know why, you don't know how this all started, you don't know why, if it's politics or if they're just mad that the McDonald's ice cream machines just don't work anymore. Like maybe that's why the fighting started. And that's this unanswered question of just why and how that never gets answered. Like even at the end, you never get answers. You're like, okay, I guess.
How does America come back from absolutely tearing itself apart?
Yeah. And like you're just in this constant road trip filled with like stopovers that are more suspenseful than the next. Like the first one is in a gas station with like torture victims, and the next one is that sniper scene where you don't even see the other guy.
Oh no, it was the next one was like they were like taking shots of like a little skirmish.
Oh yeah.
Between like one side and the other. I don't know what side is which, like the Western forces or something.
Yeah.
But there was like they were fighting, and like it was these guys in Hawaiian shirts. And get a guy.
Yeah. And then like one of their buddies dies, and then they kill the other guy like upstairs.
Yeah.
And then and you're They also go to like a small town when they're like, are you not aware of what's happening? And they're like, we just try to do our best to live our lives. And it looks like they've gone back in time, but they're like snipers in buildings.
Yeah, like it's still not clear.
Yeah.
You know, and which is like, you know what, smart. Even though you are a very nice and peaceful town, smart to have a lookout.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, Simon's just like, oh, it's a nice place, but don't make it obvious. Look to the roofs. And yeah, you see snipers just like peeking at them. They're like, hey, if you're gonna bring trouble, we're taking you down.
Yeah.
Again, we don't know what forces they are because it's like divided into like 4 parts.
Yeah, exactly. And you also see how much inflation bites when a power like the U.S. goes down. Like a sandwich costs $300. You're like, $300? Jesus Christ! People save up that money for the rest of their lives in other countries, and here you're spending it for a fucking sandwich. And then Kirsten Dunst has to use Canadian dollars because that's the only real money that has any value in the US right now. You're like, I guess inflation has grown to like, I don't know, 200%. Jesus Christ.
We don't know. Again, we're really lost.
Yeah.
In the sauce here. We're just like, there's lore behind that. There's lore behind this, but we're not gonna find it out in this movie.
Yeah.
And and when you see it, like they don't give us like an entire scale war.
Yeah.
On what's happening. It's not like Star Wars where we're like we clearly see who's the good guy, what's the bad guy, how they work and how they work.
Yeah.
No, we are in small little events with this small journalist team.
Yeah.
Going through America, and this poor girl who is being mentored by Kirsten Dunst is just being desensitized to all of it, which is what war like journalism is like you really gotta switch off that brain and just do your job.
Yeah, you can't stop to help somebody, otherwise you'll get caught in the crossfire unfortunately, you're like,
Yeah.
like again, it's one of those jobs where like I have all the respect to you, and you deserve that respect, but I don't ever see myself doing that. Hopefully,
Yeah.
again, for the next century, the next millennium, all our generation knows is peace. I know things look bleak in the modern world, but the optimist in me is like maybe things will get better. I hope things will get better. We have a new pope. Maybe
Yeah.
he'll shine a light. Who knows? But the standout scene definitely is with Jesse Plemons, like
Oh
what
my
they
god.
saw in the trailer. Like that's why everybody was like, "Is there a side in this movie?" And even you don't know what side he's on.
Yeah. Like we clearly don't know who he is because
Yeah.
there's like even Sam, the old guy, was just like, or like maybe they're the Western forces or something like that. You know, like,
Yeah,
I was like, are you sure you like you if you're wearing a uniform you want to be seen doing that?
exactly.
Or like they could be part of a force or they're just serial killers. We don't know.
Yeah, it's a very intense scene when Joel and Lee try to save Jesse, and then Jesse Plemons is just like, why should I let them go? They're like, Joel's like, because we're Americans. What kind of American? And then they
Yeah.
say each state. The one guy, I don't know why he's a journalist. He could have said any state. He just says Hong Kong. You're like, there are 47 states in the U.S. Why couldn't you say any one of those 47 ones?
And it was like, dude, what the fuck?
Right?
I get it, you're scared, but why Hong Kong?
You're like, there are 47 states, man. Pick one.
Yeah, but I did again look into a video,
Yeah,
and the ones that all three of them picked
yeah.
were in the area of they were like of the
In
bad side. I'm guessing the bad side.
Or like what side Jesse Plemons likes more.
Like he sounds like he's part of that. Like
Yeah.
they're kind of gauging. Is like, is he from here?
Ah,
Because yeah, like around where he says Florida,
yeah.
they share the same views as the one in Washington.
Ah,
So yeah, like somebody made a little layout of a map of like which side is which.
yeah,
So they were really trying to pick. They were like, yeah, we're at your side, right?
yeah,
But of course, Clemens is just like, who do you think we are? And like is about to shoot
yeah,
Joel.
yeah, yeah,
Thankfully, Time comes in and just like absolutely ram him.
yeah. I do like the scene when Lee takes a picture of Sam after he dies, and then there's the one spark of humanity left where she's like, "That's my friend that just died. I don't want to have him in the magazine. I'd rather not." And she deletes the photo. Like that's one
Yeah.
spark of like, yeah, not all of me is lost. That's someone I knew for a while. I'd rather not showcase him in his like most weak, like vulnerable moment, and that's why she deletes
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, we got like a very human, like a human scene with like Jessie. She's throwing up in the car from what happened. Kirsten Dunst, her PTSD from all the things that she's seen is like coming out,
Yeah,
and she's finally having her panic attacks, her long overdue panic attacks.
yeah,
And Joel is just like screaming into the void because
Yeah.
he just lost a friend. Well,
Yeah.
a couple of friends.
yeah. At this point, I do like how the ending mirrors like the end of every revolution or war you see in like other countries, where it's just one force going towards like the capital where the main guy is, and like you've seen it in like other countries like Libya, Iraq, and other countries that have devolved into civil war. And like I like the fact that Alex Garland purposely does that to show like it's how it usually ends, where it's just one guy, and like since Jessie is so like desensitized, she doesn't even registers that Lee saves her life, but at the cost of her own life. But Jesse's just like, I still have to do the job. I still have to take a picture of the president, and you're like,
Yeah.
damn. For
Yeah, her and Joel were just like went on.
yeah,
Not a single moment to mourn.
yeah,
Or like see that like we just lost another friend.
yeah,
They just kept going. I was like, fuck.
yeah. And like the way they take down the president, like it's like again, everything you've seen on the news, everything you've seen in history, it just mirrors that. Like art reflects life, and life reflects art. And then Joe's like, I need a quote. And he's just like, don't let them kill me. Good enough. Go ahead.
I love that. He's just like, don't let them kill me. Good enough. And it's just like, yep. They just end him right there. She takes a photo.
Yeah.
And I just love this entire film. Because, again, Alex Garland is starting to, like, be up there with the likes of, Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah.
Well, new and up-and-coming, directors that have been, like, pumping out fucking bangers.
Yeah. Like, yeah, he, Ryan Coogler, Denis Villeneuve.
Ryan Coogler, yeah.
Are just like powerhouses right now, and I'm here to stay and watch him. Greta Gerwig too. Greta Gerwig, who's also doing the Chronicles of Narnia reboot, and like I think she's casted people already, like Emma Mackey for the White Witch. But going back to this movie, I don't know if you've seen the credits where it's just the like typical military standing over the fallen dictator, and you're like, yeah, life reflects art and art reflects life. Where the soldiers just like over Nick Offerman's body. You're like, yep, I've seen that in history.
Yeah, just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel bad for the press secretary. They're like, I will negotiate peace. And the soldier's just like, no, bang. And you're like, fuck.
Yeah. At that point, you're like, oh, you gotta put him in a neutral zone. I'm like, who the fuck you think you are to use diplomacy on us?
Yeah, at this stage in the war where we can just end everything, no, fuck you. You're like, oh well,
yeah.
Should have played that card way before this all went down.
That's very true.
Yeah. Well, what would you rate Civil War?
I would rate Civil War an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
It is a really good movie, and it is somewhat of an important movie as of this moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the entire road trip in of itself, a little broken up.
Yeah.
A little like little side quests until they get to their like main point.
Yeah.
But it's all just traumatic things that you see throughout America.
Yeah.
And like even though you have that little town, you could tell that there's a little hint of like, yeesh.
Yeah, things have gone down here.
Yeah, something doesn't feel right about it.
Yeah.
And that they had to leave.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Kirsten Dunst, the girl who plays Jessie, the guy who plays Joel, and the guy who plays Sam, fucking amazing job. None of them lacked anything.
Yeah.
None of them stole the spotlight, or like overshadowed one another. Everybody, like, I would say, like, delivered the entire thing well.
Yeah.
And how they depicted war here. Again, it's not sure we get a little skirmish from here and there, but it's not large scale until you get to the last fight, of course. But just like two snipers going at each other, not even knowing that they're a team or not, or what side they're on.
Yeah,
they're just like, he's trying to kill me, I'm trying to kill him. I'm like, damn. And you know, you got like Frank Ocean on the fucking sniper, and just like that was an intense scene, but then it was just like cut right there. He just like got the guy. I'm like, okay, it's showing more than telling, and I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Alex Garland, yeah, he's been in the business for a while, but a lot of his films are getting more and more recognized.
Yeah,
and especially his talent. So I can't wait for Elden Ring. I can't wait for like future projects with him.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how he's going to do Elden Ring, but I can't wait with the themes he can pull off. I'm sure it wouldn't be hard to imagine that Elden Ring becomes a trilogy in his hands. His very capable hands.
I would love for it to be a trilogy because one movie isn't enough.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, how the fuck are you going to do that unless you pull a Zack Snyder and make a 4-hour Elden Ring movie? I would definitely watch that, to be honest. I'm like, you know what? Sure, why not?
Why not?
Yeah. Since Lord of the Rings is coming back as a reboot and another reboot, but like continuation anyway, it's the perfect timing to bring Elden Ring. And bring Dark
Yeah.
Souls too. Why not? Bring the entire Soulsborne, like, into the cinemas.
I would love an Armored Core movie.
Yeah, exactly. Armored Core, Sekiro. Let's see what happens. As for me, I'll give this a 9 out of 10, just because, again, just one of those movies where you have to watch maybe every few years, because this is the second time I've seen this since maybe last year. So
Same
I'm
way.
like,
Same way.
so I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I've had my Civil War quota done. I can just watch the Captain America version where they're not big as the stakes, you know?
Yeah.
Like, people don't fight in airports, but countries do devolve into civil war. And like, again, as you said in Warfare, I'm like, you know what? I've had too much news. I only read it on like Wednesdays and Fridays nowadays, if even that. But yeah, very thematic, very good, great showing of like how life imitates art and how art imitates life in like the best and worst ways. Every actor came to play, and like I honestly hope I get to see Kirsten Dunst in more things, because it's been a while since this movie, since I've seen her in anything. I think she's in the Frankenstein movie, or I think so. I'm not too sure about that, but again, hope I see more of her. Jessica Plemons, Kaylee Spaney, Wagner Moura for sure, whether it be animated or live action, because the dude is talented. I think I know why he's called Joel here, because Alex Garland loves The Last of Us.
Last of Us?
Yeah.
Him and Pedro Pascal would have been great Joels.
Yeah. But yeah, high scores from both of us. To the audience watching, same question as Warfare. What's your favorite A24 movie? Is it, what do you call the one where it's Daniel Radcliffe as a body and like
Swiss Army Man? I think that was your first.
Yeah, one of the first.
The first ever.
There's also Ex Machina, which is for A24's first.
Alex Garland.
Yeah, and you know the one where it's Patrick Stewart as a neo-Nazi leader, and he's hunting down other people in like a club, and they're.
I would love to watch that.
Yeah, it's like millennials surrounded by neo-Nazis, and you're like, well, you're fucked. Patrick Stewart's leading them. It's very intense. And of course, Uncut Gems. Again, I haven't seen that since 2019. Maybe I will watch it again just to, I don't know, be a masochist towards myself. Why not?
No, I've never watched it again.
But yeah, whatever it is, comment down below. If you like to see more of us here, please leave a like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on Spotify and TikTok. TikTok to see your best and funniest moments, Spotify to yours on the go. And the Visual Zodas voice is on TikTok and as well on Letterboxd. Where can you find you?
You can find me at JomJum_ on Instagram and it's my own account.
And until the next one, we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Ciao.